Organelles are these subcellular structures or internal structures that are going to carry out certain tasks for a cell. And some cells have all of the organelles, some cells only have certain organelles, depending on what their overall function is. They're divided into two main types. There's membranous organelles, meaning they have a membrane, and this is going to include the nucleus, mitochondria, lysosomes, peroxisomes, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi complex. The other type of organelles are going to not have a membrane, so it's pretty simple. You either have a membrane or you don't. The organelles that don't have a membrane would include ribosomes, centrosomes, and the centrioles. Starting with the nucleus is found in most cells, and there's usually only one, even though we'll see in certain cells that they may have multiple nuclei. Some cells have no nucleus, and we call that anuclear. The important part about the nucleus is this is the organelle that contains our DNA. So it's got our genetic information in it. It's very important. And the DNA contains the recipes for cellular proteins. The nucleus is going to respond to certain signals. A lot of times those second messenger signals from the G protein coupled receptors I talked about before, they are going to initiate an enzymatic cascade that will be the signal that ultimately tells the nucleus, hey, it's time to take that DNA and make proteins from the recipe it has. So the nucleus is the one that's going to respond and say, oh, it's time to make proteins. The nucleus has two main parts. It has a nuclear envelope, so similar to the plasma membrane, it's got this membrane of sorts that we call the envelope that wraps around. It's a double membrane barrier. It's not necessarily made of phospholipids, but it does have pores in it, and they're called nuclear pores. The outer layer of the nuclear envelope is continuous with the rough ER organelle. And the rough ER is called the rough ER, which is the endoplasmic reticulum, because it has ribosomes on it. And you can see that here. These little dots in here are the ribosomes, and that's why it's, again, the rough ER. There's a pore complex that regulates the large molecules into and out of the nucleus. So all these nuclear pores are involved in allowing the larger molecules in and out. Now, the nucleoli is essentially, you could almost think of it as the nucleus of the nucleus. So the nucleolus, nucleoli is plural, is the center of the nucleus. And it stains darker than the nucleus. And it's involved in making ribosomal RNA and ribosome subunit assembly. When we talk about transcription and translation in Chapter 4, you will see where these are important and their role. But the importance is to know that this nucleolus helps make the rRNA or the ribosomal RNA, which is important for translation. And also helps with ribosome subunit assembly. So these are all very important parts for translation or protein synthesis. Okay? Here you can also see in this micrograph below, this is a slice of the liver. This is the nucleus here, this dark stain within the cells. Here's a nice cell right here. And that darker circle in the middle is the nucleus. And the lighter purple is the cytoplasm.